Hello my friends, and welcome back to our blind let's play of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. My name is FlightlessBird, this is your story-based gaming channel, and today we're going to try to save Maya from the predicament that she unfortunately found herself in due to nefarious means, which we still haven't figured out yet. So we're Maya here exploring. Let's go ahead and look around. There's all sorts of things piled up here, but it's too dark to see. There's a note on the ground. What's this? It feels like there are a lot of glass bottles here. And these, they feel like barrels. I'll pass. Too bad I'm really hungry and not really thirsty. Drat, it's locked. But this door's locked seems easy enough to open. On TV, the hero always uses a plastic card or a stiff piece of cardboard. Then click, they magically open the door. I wonder if there's a card like that around here I could use. Huh? Someone dropped a card here. Oh, that's the card that, Andrews had. It kind of looks like a business card, but there's no name on it. It's a picture of a seashell, I think. What a strange card. Ah, that's it. The shell card. If I use this, maybe I can get the door open. This might be my key out of here. I had a feeling this card might be useful. I'm such a genius. Alright, now if you'll excuse me, Mr. Kidnapper. Click. I did it! Wow, that actually worked? Okay, now I'm getting the heck out of here. I shouldn't keep Nick waiting or worried. Oh, there was a to be continued. Okay. I had a feeling we were really close to the continue mark, but I had no idea how long it would have taken. So I figured it shouldn't be such a big deal to stop there. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day today. Let's go ahead and start the trial, shall we? March 22nd, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defense Lobby number 3. Adrian did it? That's what it looks like. Dude! No way! That woman couldn't do anything like that. In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that will implicate you. A mountain of evidence? I'm certain there is someone out there trying very hard to pin this whole thing on you. Please, Mr. Lawyer! Dude! Like I said yesterday, I'm refreshing like a spring breeze, alright? Can't let any sort of scandal ruin that. I understand. Well, it's almost time. Is this karma? Nope, it's Mia. Mia. We must get a complete acquittal today. I know. But I can't focus on Maya's situation right now. Or Pearl's either. No matter what, I have to focus on winning this case by the end of the day. Indeed. Well, let's get going. It's him. This is Wright. Good morning. This is it, Mr. Attorney. The day of the trial. Maya, she's unharmed, right? Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, how shall we say, tired. All the exclamative dots. Don't worry. People don't die that easily. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning today's trial. Grrr. For my sake, as well as yours, you must win today's trial. Which is why I sent you a little present this morning. Present? What in the world would you want to give to me? You'll figure it out once the trial starts. And even if you don't like my gift, I expect you to graciously accept it and win the day's contest, if you please. Wait. The kidnapper sent me a present? Mr. Lawyer, dude? Who was that? It's no one. Has nothing to do with you. So forget you heard anything. Dude! Did your nose just get longer? Alright, guys. I have no idea how we're gonna do this in one day, but... Well, it may not be one day for us, it may be two, but I mean one day in game time. You know what I mean. Where's the prosecutor? Court is now in session for the trial of Matt and Guard. Are the prosecution and defense ready? The defense is ready, Your Honor. Where's Francisca? Oh, the debts. I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Miss Von Karma? How am I supposed to know? I don't know, Your Honor. Why are you getting mad at me, exactly? Your Honor. Please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. If you must tell me something, please keep it brief. Now then, what is it? Prosecutor Von Karma has. This morning, Miss Von Karma was shot by an unknown gunman. What? What? I mean, I don't like her very much, but I don't want to see her shot. What's going on in this case? This case keeps getting stranger and stranger. What? Shot? Somehow, I think this is the present that man was talking about. Is present? Miss Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. If she were to disappear, it would be to your advantage. This is totally insane. But Miss Von Karma, is she alright? I don't have that answer. I just found out she got shot. Oh, the deaths. She's alive in a stable condition. Oh god, don't tell me this is Edgeworth taking over the case. Well, that's good. Who? Huh? You're... I thought he'd show up. Indeed. Why is he on the witness stand? Your Honor. I think this is new music too. Due to the circumstances, Miss Francisca Von Karma cannot appear in court today. I, Miles Edgeworth, will be taking her place. Oh dear Lord. I don't know if this is to my advantage or not. The prosecution is ready. Naturally. Just like old times, huh? Miss Von Karma was shot in a right shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery. Luckily, I have looked this case over and am familiar with the details. The prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Matt and Guard. The court acknowledges the prosecution. Right. I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my long journey this past year. Just like old times indeed. By the time this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer. Oh, the exclamated dots. Now then, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand. Witness, your name and occupation. I think Gumshoe would be a little bit happier knowing that, you know, he's back and not she, you know? Well, my name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm a detective down at the precinct, or at least for now. For now? Well, after this trial's over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge, sir. Oh, that's right. Detective Gumshoe? The prosecution has no need for a depressed witness. Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Dick Gumshoe. Yes, sir. Now, let's have your testimony. If we want to explore the various facets of this case, we must start with that. Get ready, Phoenix. It's going to be one very rough fight. Yeah, it would have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent. The answer he was struggling for. Interesting. Show me this answer you finally found, Edgeworth. Bare facts of the case. Witness testimony. Well, this murder happened after the hero of Heroes Award ceremony, sir. The victim, Juan Carita, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the cause of death, we believe it was definitely murdered, sir. At first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. After the award ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room? Well, yes, sir. Both the victim and the defendant went alone to the room, sir. I see. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Let's go. Well, this murder happened after the Hero of Heroes Award ceremony, sir. Would you please give us a brief timeline of what happened after the ceremony? Well, okay, pal. Ceremony started at 6 p.m. and ended around 8 p.m. and then there was a short break. Special post-ceremony show was supposed to start in the lobby 30 minutes later. And that's when the victim's body was found, correct? Which is to say, the murder occurred during that 30-minute break period. Please continue with your testimony, detective. Well, the victim, Juan Carita, was found dead in his hotel room. The person who discovered the victim's body was Adrian Andrews, correct? Oh, yeah. Who is this Adrian Andrews that you're talking about? Well, she was the defendant's mountain guard's manager. She's a really pretty lady, sir. So she's a pretty lady. I wonder if she will grace us with her presence. When the post-ceremony show was about to start, she went to get Mr. Mountain Guard. After visiting his room, she next went to the victim's room to get him for the show, sir. Well, I see. And that's when she found the victim's body. After looking into the cause of death, we believe it was definitely murdered, sir. The cause of death, wasn't that because Matt Carita was stabbed in the chest? Only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless as that, pal. Take a good hard look at the crime photo. Now, a real close attention will be drawn here to this bandana. Banana. Here's a bandana, sir. That's the thing wrapped tightly around his neck, sir. Yes, I see. His banana scented bandana. Then what about the knife? Well, it seems he'd been struck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death. Yeah, oh, I never saw the bandana. That's a good point. So he was strangulated and then stabbed afterwards. We have a crafty murder on our hands here. Autopsy report, added to court record. Time of death, 8:15 p.m. Strangled with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife. Well, at first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. And why did you think that? Well, because it was empty, pal. The Jammin' Ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar. And we couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime. Oh, then how about this theory? If Aaron really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it, how's that? Well, we thought of that too, but... Well, the only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims. Only the victims, huh? I see. So much for my theory then. Guitar case updated the court record. Empty. There is some water, but only on top of the lid. Bears Carita's fingerprints. However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. What convinced you it had nothing to do with the case? Well, the guitar wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night. Well then, where was it? The bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. The victim, Juan Carita, had apparently only taken the case with him, sir. So, you mean he forgot to put the guitar inside the case? Well, yes, sir. Even when he was on stage, the ceremony, he didn't have his guitar. So that guitar case was empty even before he got to the hotel? That's weird. I mean, he goes everywhere with it though, right? Well, yeah, that's right. So it had really nothing to do with the case at all. I believe that is enough. First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana. Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest Matt and Guard? Because there was reason enough to suspect him. Here it comes. Looks like Edward is back in full swing. Very well, Detective Gumshoe, please testify about this matter. Well, yes, sir. Why arresting Guard? Witness testimony. Matt and Guard and Juan Carita were huge rivals with each other. They each thought the other guy was in his way. Well, that's motive enough in my book. As for evidence, is the Jammin' Ninja's button. It was ripped off by the ninja costume. It was found in Mr. Ngard's hakama. You know, the defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. And the defendant bought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder. So the defendant's fingerprints were found on the knife used in the stabbing. It was sort of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clearly, sir. What about the bandana? Was fingerprints found on that? Knife added to the court record. Bears the victim's blood and Guard's fingerprints, and the grip water is engraved. And then there's this here button. Well, that was found in the defendant's clothes, was it? And this button also covered in blood? Well, yes, and we know that the blood on it is the victim's blood, sir. Wait, what? Jammin' Ninja's button added to court record. Was ripped from his costume, covered in Carita's blood, found in a guard's hakama. Oh, this points very clearly to defendant, doesn't it? Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. Ready to give in yet, right? Ha! I'll find the hole in your argument somehow. You can press as hard as you'd like. Just hurry up with your usual pointless questions. Grrr. Why arresting Guard? Cross-examination. Matt and Guard and Juan Carita were huge rivals with each other. But in terms of popularity, Mr. Guard won, did he not? Well, yeah, but you know what's ironic, pal? Juan Carita was always one step behind Matt and Guard in everything. This year it seemed like he finally caught up, ready for the big final showdown. But Mr. Carita lost the Grand Prix in the end. Well, that is too bad. He must have been pretty downhearted after losing. Oh, the dots. They each thought the other guy was in his way. Well, that's motive enough in my book. Wait just 1 second here. Mr. Ngard was beating Mr. Carita in the popularity polls. Well, yeah, I guess, but... Which means that in the defendant's eyes, the victim was not a rival at all. Which means he had no motive to kill at all. Yes, I quite agree. Well, detective. Well, it's not, well... I guess if you put it that way, well then yeah, the defendant would have had no motive. Detective, I'm beginning to see why you were fired. No, not you too, Mr. Edwards, sir. You know that. I look forward to your pension negotiations. No, detective, let's continue with the testimony. No, not my poor pension too. Poor guy. Detective, if you value your money, I suggest you proceed. Yes, sir. We can talk about my pension later, sir. What about what I was saying? Hello? Anyone? Are we gonna, completely ignore that? As for the evidence, there's the Jammin' Ninja's button. Do you have any proof that button belonged to the victim? Huh? What? What do you mean, pal? Oh, let me put it this way. I'm asking you if you have any evidence to back up your claim that this button was ripped off of the Jammin' Ninja's costume. Huh? But can't you tell by just looking at it? Huh? And the victim's blood is on it. Anyone could have smeared the blood on there afterward. Oh, the dots. Mr. Edgeworth, help me, sir. All right, I knew it had to be this piece of evidence. Now to reel this one in. Thread. Huh? The button was attached to the costume by thread, obviously. And that thread snapped when the button was torn off. If you match up the ends of the thread on the costume with the thread on the button, it's a perfect match. Well, yeah, that's it. They're a perfect match, pal. Irk. That's Edgeworth for you. He never misses a beat. It was ripped off by the ninja costume and found in Mr. Guard Sakama. When was this button found? Pretty soon after the body was found. We rounded up everyone who knew Mr. Kurita. And then we did a search on them all. That's where we found the button. So it was almost immediately after the murder. The police didn't have the free time to lollygag and play tricks, unlike some people. Hey, what is he trying to say about me here? The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. How were the fingerprints arranged on the knife? Huh? What do you mean, pal? By examining the fingerprints, you can determine how the defendant held the knife. For example, did he hold it normally or overhand? Oh, is that what you meant? Well, we didn't actually think of that. I can't believe the bumbling of this department. Hopeless. Were you paying any attention to the testimony, Wright? The defendant's fingerprints were all over the knife. There is no way to determine how the knife was held at the moment of the murder. So is the defendant the owner of the knife then? The defendant brought the knife to the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder. There is no way this was premeditated murder, even if he brought the knife. Sorry, pal, this isn't some pocket knife. It doesn't fold, so it's not great for walking around with either. Alright, well, it's not good, but it was... The knife is the Gatewater Hotel's knife, though. So, when you say he brought it with him, the knife was already there, right? If the prosecution can prove it was a premeditated murder, we're done for. Phoenix. Yes? There's something very interesting about what the detective said just now. Think carefully before it's too late. A button covered in the victim's blood, and a knife with Unguard's fingerprints. Be grateful. If the judge were more rash, he would have already pounded his gavel in closing. We're still in a world of trouble. Well, before any battle, you must find your enemy's weakness. So let's find the weakness of his testimony, no matter how small it may be, okay, Phoenix? Alright, so let's go to that last point. Premeditate murder. What do we have? We have the button. And the Gatewater is engraved. So I'm thinking that he didn't bring it with him. It was already there. Wait a second. Oh, what? So the basic argument that this was a premeditated murder is simply that my client brought a knife beforehand? Well, that's right, pal. You know, the defendant did not buy this knife. Huh? Take a good look at the handle of this knife. You'll see what I'm talking about. Huh? It has a Gatewater seal set into the handle. Gatewater? I think I've heard that name somewhere before. That's the name of the hotel. The Gatewater Hotel. Oh, the ducks. Oh. The murder knife was actually property of the hotel, which means this murder was not premeditated. I'm surprised I caught that right away.
Oh, yes, sir, that is very true. This is very big. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? And thank you for not whipping me like the other crazy lady.
I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless. What? I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined. How so? I admit this knife is hotel property. There is no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough not to realize this. But I didn't know. Oh. Poor Gumshoe. The question is, where did this knife come from?
Why, that's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Quita's room.
Sorry, Your Honor, but that is incorrect. The victim ate a last meal before he was murdered. With that being the case, and the knife and fork are there, I would like to draw the court's attention to what is on top of the table. So is he arguing that it wasn't a premeditated murder? I'm so confused on what he's doing right now.
There's a knife and a fork on the table. Well then, where in the world did this knife come from?
If it pleases the court, I would like us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Matt Ungard. There's a knife missing from one of the meals. Basically, what was on top of that table? There is something missing. Perhaps it is a single knife. We investigated the leftover dishes for fingerprints, and while we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Matt Ungard's knife was missing. Mr. Ungard had gone to the victim's room with the knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit? It's to kill, of course. And with that, I believe the prosecution has proven this was a premeditated murder. Nope, he is definitely not helping me out, that is for sure.
Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliantly clear deduction.
It seems like Edgeworth had this plan from the very beginning. This must be one of those traps, and I just walked headlong into it.
A murder weapon with the fingerprints and a button from the victim's costume. There is quite a sizable amount of evidence here.
I can safely say that any further deliberation is a waste of Your Honor's time. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to the court. Evidence not yet shown? He means evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence.
What does the defense have to say about this, Mr. Wright?
Well? Phoenix, the judge is favoring the prosecution right now. If we answer with something wrong here, that gavel of his will be ringing out to the sound of our defeat.
Mr. Wright, do you have something important and necessary to present to this court?
Do we? I'm thinking the suicide report. Can I save? I can save. Okay. Let's save. And actually I do. If we say no, I think he's gonna be, you know, you're guilty. So, well, there's one. Oh, the dots. One piece of evidence that catches my attention. Something that this court has yet to see.
Mr. Wright, I will say that this one more time, I do not feel this trial needs to continue at all. However, I am giving you one chance, and only one.
What the judge is saying, right, is don't try pulling off one of your usual bluffs here. If I mess this up, it's curtains for all of us. Holy cow, look at all the health bars.
You may present one and only one piece of evidence.
Alright, saving a second time.
Now then, what is this important evidence that you must show to the court?
There's a couple things I can think of. The wine glass, which is very interesting. And then we have the suicide report, which goes to motive. But the wine glass, you would think would be a part of evidence. The suicide report's not. Sorry, Wright, but this time your bluffing steered you wrong.
I can see nothing strange about this piece of evidence.
Wait!
I am a man of my word, Mr. Wright.
Holy cow!
Well, that's enough. This court sees no reason for the prolonged trial. Nor is there any need to more time to decide the case against the defendant. This case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpretation of the facts. This court finds the defendant met en garde. Guilty. The accused will surrender to the court immediately, to be held pending trial at a higher court within a month from today's date. That is all. This court is adjourned.
Well, that was not the piece of evidence. Nope, definitely not the piece of evidence. So try the wine glass?
Well, this is a wine glass, is not?
Okay, it was my second guess. It was one of the two I was thinking. Please, look at the photo of the crime scene one more time. The scene is a mess because of the victim's struggle against the assailant. The vase was broken. His makeup is all over the floor. These were all the things that were at one point sitting on top of the dresser.
Well, yes, I see your point.
However, this glass that is sitting on top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. The one thing that had not fallen over along with everything else is this wine glass. This piece of evidence is more than strange enough to warrant further consideration.
Oh, the debts.
Oh, the debts. Oh, is this the bet you got, Dots? Well, what do you all have to say?
Well, yes, it is a little, peculiar.
Yes, isn't it? I thought it was.
You can stop looking at me with those puppy dog's eyes of yours now. Mr. Edgeworth.
What is it, Your Honor?
Your opinion, if you would, please.
You don't need my opinion. Because there is no special meaning to that glass. What? It's safe to say that the glass was set there after the crime took place. By the person who discovered the body, Adrian Andrews, for example. She could have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking.
That does sound very plausible, Mr. Wright.
You know, here's the thing. If she had brought in a wine glass into a room where there was a murder, don't you think the shock of that murder would have caused her to spill some of the drink? I mean, maybe not spilled all of it, maybe not dropped it, but I mean, surely her hand would have been like fidgeting and, you know? Could Miss Andrews really have set that glass down without thinking? There's no way. If I appear weak here, the trial's over. I can look for my proof later. For now, I should trust my instinct and point with certainty. They just might fall for it if you're thought-provoking enough. The defense would like to challenge the prosecution's theory. We would like to see something that proves it was Miss Andrews who set the cup on the table.
You turned the situation on its head yet again, as usual. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim?
There's no way he has any. He's just bluffing. Unlike Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have the evidence to support it. What? You're not thinking hard enough today, right? Did you think this wine glass escaped my notice? Well, then, of course, it has been thoroughly inspected for fingerprints. Fingerprints? There were only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass.
Only one? Well, whose were they?
They were not the victims nor the defendants. Rather, they were one Adrian Andrews.
What?
Wine glass updated. Found next to victim filled with tomato juice bears Andrews' fingerprints. That is why I said that the person who discovered the body had left it there. Are we done here, Mr. Wright?
I can't believe I fell into another trap.
Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Carita. But upon seeing his dead body, she was stunned and set the glass down on the dresser.
What you just said makes a lot of sense.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. Now do you see, right? You can't change any part of my scenario as it explains everything all too well. Grrr. I thought long and hard this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor. And from here on out, I will show you the answer I have come to discover.
Wait a second, Mr. Edgeworth. I think the prosecution has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict.
I bet you his answer is that the job of a prosecutor is to discover the truth, even if it means he's wrong. I hope that's true, because that's what I'm wishing for. I mean, that's like the hopeful optimism in me coming out. Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet. The prosecution has yet another witness we would like the court to hear from. Another witness? Yes. Bailiff, please bring in the next witness. What in the world is Mr. Edgeworth thinking? Is this gonna be Wendy or Adrian? Probably gonna be Wendy. Yep. That's so weird. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. All the dots. All the dots. Witness, your name and occupation, please. Is she gonna drive? You see, Edgeworth, this was a bad idea. You remember last time she was here? Apparently he does remember last time she was here. I wonder what happened to that calm composure he had earlier. Oh, Edgy boy. It's been a year since we last met, hasn't it? Oh, you should be more happy to see me. I saw the report with her testimony. But who knew under that helmet? It was the Wicked Witch of the witness stand. You didn't know it was her. Oh, that's so good. I tell you, this time I know what I'm supposed to do. So today, I'm going to tell you anything and everything. Even things I don't have to do with that terrible crime. Like, I love you, Edgeworth.
Mr. Witness, the terrible crime is all the court needs to know.
Oof. Shush, I'm talking to my dear Edgy Wedgy boy right now. Don't interrupt us, Gramps.
Yes, madam. Wait, Gramps, you're as old as I am.
No, please, by all means, interrupt her, please. Anyway, witness, your testimony, please. It's true what they say, that youth are hot-headed nowadays, not that I'm at all edgy. Now then, what should I start with? The witness was on security detail at the hotel on the night of the murder. Is this correct, Miss Olbag? It was a great job being able to see my dear Yuan. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle.
You mean you were a fan of the victim?
Look, everyone is crazy with that guard, saying he's cute in a fresh way or something. But not me. I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a child like him. I'm only interested in a real man. Mr. One, Karita.
But those two were the same age.
Anyway, as I was saying, I was facing in front of his room that night.
Very well. Please tell the court what you witnessed the night of the murder.
Leave it to me, Angie Poo.
Oh, Lord. What you witnessed.
Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. It was on guard, Matt on guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room.
So Mr. Guard came out from the victim's room.
See, it has to be him. He's a murderer.
What time was that? Oh, the dots.
Oh, I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
What you witnessed.
Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around into the hallway in front of his room.
Miss Olbag, what was your post on that night?
The lobby. I was supposed to help set up the stage for that trifling show. But I refused to help, I'll have you know. It was for that lead-headed samurai show. I even took out a few of the nails.
Maybe it was a good thing the show didn't go on.
Besides, that manager with the glasses seemed to be working hard at it without me. So I thought I'd take a break and spread my wings a little.
Oh, so she was down there. And that's when you went to hang around the victim's door?
That was something I was interested in finding out, you know.
Something you were interested in, and just what was that?
It's not some little thing I could just go around telling everyone, you know. It's top secret between me and Juan. And Edgy Poo, of course.
Miss Edgeworth, what was this thing she was interested in?
I have no idea. I despise gossip, Your Honor. Gossip? But should it prove relevant, we can always have it appended to her testimony later. It looks like we shouldn't force it right now.
And did the witness stay in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time?
Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time.
Oh, and then would you tell us the number of people who went in and out of Mr. Kurita's room?
I have no idea. I wasn't born, so I could count things for those who didn't pay attention in class. That's why, ever since I turned 20, I quit keeping track of how old I really am.
Well, yes, Sue, that would explain why your age was not included in the report.
In any case, the witness that saw someone, correct?
That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room.
And who in the world was that?
I'm not allowed to say. This sort of information has to be carefully guarded from the masses, Sonny. The man that came out of Juan's room. It was.
Yes, he was.
I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud.
Oh, what would I wouldn't give to have Francisco's whip right about now?
Well, I guess I can tell you since you're such a bad boy anyway. I was on guard. Vanguard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room.
You saw my client? Are you sure about that?
Well, yeah, see.
Really?
I know I'm Brat. When I say I saw someone, I saw that person.
Why do I get a sense of deja vu? Maybe to avoid it repeated last year, I should delve into this a bit further. I don't have a strong inkling one way or another. Person's face. Please tell the court about the man's face in more detail.
I don't need me to tell you about his face. That soft, gentle look in his eyes and his effeminate lips.
His red eye covered by silky hair, his sparkling, shining teeth.
His teeth were shining?
Well, he is shining all night around in this week's pinup poster, dearie.
All the dots. This week's pinup? Why do you, I don't care how it looks in this week's issue. Please stay with what you saw that night.
Oh, what? Angar's face is the same no matter where it is, you know, you whippersnapper.
So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important and relevant in any way?
I don't think it is very important. I guess it really wasn't important that after all.
So, Mr. Wright, do you know what we say time is valuable? If not, I suggest you learn.
You wasted 3 minutes this one, Zio. That's more valuable than gold to me.
Why do I suddenly feel older in the presence of her childish whining?
She may not remember things or be mistaken here and there, but I don't think she's lying.
Well, that's bad for us, really bad.
But that's how the human mind is. It also has a tendency to jump off topic. She strayed onto a few interesting side topics this time too, hasn't she? But that's what makes her a sweet old lady, right?
Well, that's because you're not the one who has to question her. Alright, so let's go back there. And let's try something different. I wonder about the person who was carrying. What was the man you saw carrying?
And which hand? His right or his left?
Both?
Ah, now this is a real mess. I can't be expected to answer such a vague question.
Indeed, please be more specific when questioned, Mr. Wright.
Sorry. What was the man you saw carrying in his right hand?
I wasn't carrying anything in that hand.
Well, then how was left?
Empty.
Well then, why did well, this whole thing has been a lot of nothing. Was it important? I don't think that one was very important. Wait, I missed it! Why did I do the wrong thing? Then perhaps you would like to point out what part of that testimony was important. You don't really have to put me in the way that say.
Mr. Wright, there's something more valuable than personal pride, and that is time. Please don't wait to score time.
Okay, so in the end, it didn't really matter, did it? So now we know. That was actually a good thing, because now we know if in this last statement, if we don't hit anything, then we need to go back to the first one. Please tell the court about the man's clothes in more detail.
Oh, what a troublesome you are. Really, as if something like that really matters.
But it does.
Now, what was it? Oh, yes, it was that thing.
What thing?
Oh, that gaudy thing he's always wearing. That racing jacket.
Ah, he was wearing that at the detention center too. That's important because the button was found in his hakama. That's not a hakama, right? Actually, I have no idea what a hakama is. Hold on, I'm going to Google a hakama real quick. Hakama are... So a hakama is basically like... It's pants. They're like... You know when you see martial artists fight? And they're wearing like some sort of robe and long pants that has like a tie around the midsection? That's what a hakama is. So if he was wearing this, how did they find the button in his hakama?
Oh, that thing's meant for nothing but seducing a woman out of their pantaloons. Huh, man.
Right.
So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important?
Yes, this one is important. Of course it was important, Your Honor. Then perhaps you would like to point out what part of that testimony was important. Don't you see it, Edgeworth? Oh, the dots. Your Honor, I request what the witness said about the jacket to be appended to a testimony.
I don't quite see where you're going with this, but alright, witness please.
Oh, well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must. He was wearing this flashy racing jacket. Honestly, it's all just for show.
Are you sure the defendant was wearing a racing jacket?
Oh, what do you think? It's not like I've seen him in anything other than that horrible thing. I'm sure he was wearing it.
She is so sure of herself that's the point of self-absorption.
She may not remember things will be mistaken here and there, but I don't think she's lying.
That's bad for us. Okay, she's saying the same thing. Okay, we need to present the button here. Miss Oldback.
Ah, don't say my name for no reason.
Do you know what this is?
Ah, it's button number 2 on the Jamming Ninja's costume.
Now I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified a single glance by number, no less.
Ah, give it here, give it here. If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this.
Wow, she really is a diehard fan to want a button covered in blood. This button was discovered on Mr. Unguard's body during a full body search.
See? This button proves beyond a shadow of doubt it was that rascal Unguard.
Ah, it was caught up in the pleats of his nickel samurai Hakama pants.
See? And Unguard is the nickel samurai.
But, witness. Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination. But just now, did you say that the defendant, Matt Unguard, was wearing his usual racing jacket?
No, the dots. I'm so sorry. Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. But when they turn the assess, it made me think I was most gorgeous one. I'm say I had to wear with this. What good God? You agree that self is easy, right? I got a table cord stuck in my chest. Let me tell you, it's heavy, it's so heavy. I wish we would have switched it easy years ago. But I'm getting to life. All the kids out there. I work on it since I do you say now. Take a look at the mirror. Here goes my message. Attack America.
I almost had everything. She said something about Edge looking cool or something. I don't know. There was just way too many sentences in one breath.
Now hold your tongue still there for a second. So what you saw in actuality was not Mr. Unguard, the man, but Mr. Unguard, the nickel samurai?
Yeah, but when you think about it,
Sounds exactly like the third case, doesn't it?
Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to comment on what you saw and what you would like to see next. I always love to hear your thoughts. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more. Also, please do not forget, you matter. You are brilliant and you are loved. And you should always remember to be true to yourself. Don't let the world tell you any different. Much love to you from your friendly feathered flightless bird. Till next time.